All right, welcome back. We're here for round one of the top eight
For
of
the
Gatecrash box tournament that we did commentary for.
yes,
First, EndStep's first coverage.
yeah. So this is our first time doing commentary. Let us know what you think. I know it's probably not going to be top tier or even
Yeah,
remotely
we're
close.
building. We're building.
This is our first time, both of our first times like doing this ever. So we would like to continue doing this, or potentially like make a thing out of this. So let us know what you guys think, how you feel about it. If you think we should, not quit our day jobs, whatever. Um, But yeah, so here's our first round of the top eight. We have Dan Ryan, who we saw earlier. If you guys saw that match with his blue white red flash deck, well,
Yes.
more like blue white red Boros Reckoner stuff. Like,
Yeah, more like Jerry Thompson's build.
yeah. And then we have first on camera Nick Wilderman, who is playing Human Reanimator, and I believe he just went undefeated in the tournament, right?
No, I think he went 3-1. I think he did. I think nobody was undefeated.
Nobody was undefeated. Okay,
I don't think so.
that's good. That's good.
Um,
But he's playing Human Reanimator, like straight up Humanimator. Nothing really techie in his deck. It's all pretty basic stuff. Yeah. So,
yeah, I actually played Nick round one of the tournament, and he was my only loss. So
yeah.
I can speak to his deck. I know most of his deck. It's a deck I've played on camera.
Yeah. Nothing
He
wrong with
does
it.
have Hunt Masters, where a lot of builds don't have Hunt Master.
I like Conmaster still.
I'm okay with it. I do think it changes up your deck a little bit.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we started out with a solid...
Yeah, he had Faceless Looting on one.
Yeah, Faceless Looting on one off of Foundry. I mean, I know the life totals will be fixed momentarily, because he should be at 18. Into a Faceless Looting, pitching... what's the name of that guy?
Fiend Hunter.
Fiend Hunter.
And a Cavern.
Cavern, yep. And Dan's just gonna follow up with his own Augur of Bolus, which is
It's like whiff.
gonna whiff.
It
Yeah,
is
that's
whiffing.
not something you want to be doing in this kind of matchup. You really want to be hitting your dissipates and your charms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Humanimator deck has this inevitability where you're going to die in X turns.
Right.
So you have to have things that interrupt it in a hard fashion.
Right.
So this looks like a
Another untapped Shockland.
flashback. Nope, I was gonna say flashback. Faceless Looting, but we got a Mull.
Farseek. No, that's a
Oh,
Farseek.
Farseek.
Yep. I'm fine with the Farseek too. Like just getting more lands on the table so you can do lots of things, multiple things in the same turn.
Yeah, a lot of you get black, which is the splash color.
Right. Right. Dan's gonna draw an island first turn. He's bricking pretty hard, honestly. Like nothing from the Augur. His draw steps haven't been that great. He's just gonna get in for one. Yep, there's the appropriate life totals. He should be going to 15 off the Augur attack. Yep. All right, we're good.
All right, so we got a Reckoner. So we got a clock of our own now,
Yeah. All right. Reckoner's good here.
and then maybe we can draw our combo piece, either
Yeah.
Harvest Pyre or Blasphemous Act.
Nick's been pretty slow too, honestly. Like all he's had is
man, so
Faceless
Fiend
Looting.
Hunter is like awesome answer against
Right.
Reckoner.
That's true. Yep. So like now they're just gonna butt heads the Augur and the Fiend Hunter. So like Nick bought himself a ton of time with that Fiend Hunter, and
Yep.
Dan either needs to like kill it or play another
Another
Reckoner.
Reckoner, yeah.
That's good too.
All right, so Dan left the table for some reason. One second.
Okay.
So yeah, so we were saying like Daniel wasn't playing aggressive the last game, but this time it's like he's playing super aggressive. Like
Right.
he's doing like Reckoner on 3, Reckoner on 4.
Right. Maybe he's more familiar with the matchup where he knows he needs to like get something done before he's done. You know.
All right, so decent Grizzly salvage. We got Ambero Rights and Fiend Hunter in the yard.
Right. I like. I guess I like taking the Fiend Hunter just so you can just hit his other Reckoner.
Yep.
And just keep up the passive in
Yeah,
action.
that's all you want to do.
Yeah, and you can see-
Daniel is frustrated with such things.
Yep. Dan's fairly annoyed. He knows Fiend Hunter is a really good response to something like Boros Reckoner.
Yeah, that's why like it's sometimes not the best to play the Reckoners out early in this matchup because they do have 4 Fiend Hunters.
Right.
So it's nice to be able to like at least protect them, or play them out early if you have Searing Spear, because then you can at least get them back.
Yep. Now I'm gonna see a mulch. Hitting no lands.
No lands.
But he did put 2 Huntmasters and an Barrel Rates in his yard, so like that's a lot of humans.
You know, drew some cards basically.
Yeah.
So that mulch should be in the graveyard.
Right. So there's the other Fiend Hunter on the Reckoner, which we knew was what he was going to do. So like you were saying, like there's a whole lot of inevitability to this, and like Nick doesn't really care what you do or how long it takes to get there, but he's going to get there.
So Dan has 3 lands and is that a Syncopate?
I don't know. It might be Think Twice. Oh, it's an island.
Oh, it's all lands? Oh, man.
Yep, Mountain Island, Stevens.
Oh, this is bad news.
And there's the first Undercity Informer.
Alright, so he's almost assembled his combo.
Mm-hmm.
He needs Angel, and he needs a Burning Tree Emissary.
Yep.
And he'll have successfully comboed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of pieces to make the combo work, but everything's so, like all your cards find your other cards. You know,
yeah, it's an all-in strategy, but the deck's pretty consistent.
Yeah, very consistent. So he Faithless Looting and just pitches 2 lands. I'm not sure what he kept. No, I also I'm not really 100% sure what Dan needs here. Like,
man, he needs like Supreme Verdict.
he needs to dissipate soon because like he needs some way to interact with his Umbrella Rights on an Angel
But
that's coming up.
there's 2
Umbrella Rights.
Umbrella Rights in the yard.
It's tough.
So we have an Angel. It's not bad.
Well, it's his first like non-land card in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to enter the Angel and blink his Augur to try and get a little more value out of it.
Like, Nick is so far ahead now, too. Like, he could just... Like, he doesn't know Dan has, like, nothing in his hand, essentially.
Yeah.
But he could just hardcast Angel this turn.
He's got a Cavern, too, which I'm sure is on Angel.
Yeah, most likely it is. Alright, so we're hoping to hit a Dissipate here.
Think twice.
Think twice. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah. Which is also going to cast at the end of his turn.
To note, Dan does not have any Dissipates. So you would have just...
Even on the side?
No, just Counterflux or Rewind. Or, yeah, he's only got 2 counterspells main deck. 1 Rewind, 1 Counterflux.
Looks like you bricked some more and drew more lands. So he's going to get him for 3 with the Angel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those Phoenix just put such a hole in the strategy.
Yeah, so Nick's got another graveyard filler.
Mm-hmm. Dan's gonna respond with a
Think Twice.
Getting a Searing Spear.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not awful.
No.
Alright, so still no Angel.
It's gonna take the Huntmaster? Okay. I mean, I could have seen the Fiend Hunter.
Yep, take out the Angel.
Yeah. Now the question is, do you Searing Spear like a Fiend Hunter to try and put a little more aggression with your Reckoner? Or do you hold on to it for like maybe a combo turn?
I think it's so late in the game that you're not gonna win by damage. You just gotta...
Or you could even like kill this as Huntmaster, because like I mean we're getting to the point where Nick can start turning his own dude sideways, you know?
Yeah, what's the last card in Nick's hand?
I don't know. It's the card he drew.
Yeah, because his last card was Grizzly Salvage.
Right.
With Augur.
See if this one can help him out.
It should. Oh man,
Nope.
Another brick. So Nick's having, Dan's having just like really bad luck here.
Yeah.
Ton of lands, 2 missed Augurs.
Yeah, he's not seeing anything like relevant at all.
Got to get in there with the Angel.
Yep.
So you can safely pass the turn. And if Nick tries to pass back,
He can spear.
you can spear the Huntmaster. So yeah, so Nick's gonna start killing his own guys to mill.
Right.
Um,
So it looks like he activated it, sacking the wolf token, and Dan's
Yeah.
trying to think about maybe a response. He has a Searing Spear. Like I think he wants to, not sure if he wants to use it on the Informer.
it doesn't seem worth it because then he just
No,
like,
it's not, because whatever he...
because then it's already in the stack, and then he sacks the Informer to himself.
Right.
He gets another card,
Right.
another 3 cards.
Yeah, it's really hard to kill a lot of things when they have an Informer on the table, because it's always going to do what they want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's playing on second just
Yeah,
anyway.
yes,
So.
this is. I don't agree with this play at all. Just don't do it. Nope. Yeah, bad play. Yeah, and Nick's doing exactly what I want him to do. So he's gonna mill himself and probably hit an angel at this point. Like he's milled.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
it is.
it is. Yeah, and
So,
an emissary.
Game over.
And then second trigger. Second angel on barrel rights. Another angel. Land. So we hit one emissary and that's enough, right? Just one emissary.
Yeah, all you need is one emissary. Only need one of each piece. The more pieces you have, the more pieces you have, the more you can mill at a time. But
yeah,
I mean, he knows Dan has some cards, which he's assuming has to be some way to interact.
right.
But
I mean,
he has so much mana.
and so many on barrel rights.
Like so many unburial rights, he can actually just double unburial rights.
Right.
Like, there's no way Dan can interact at this point.
Yeah, and I'm sure Nick knows that. Like,
Yeah. All right, unburial rights. Kind of this one.
all right, does this one resolve?
Get my guy.
Checking. Looks at hand. 4 lands.
And resolves. And then generally what I like to do with these kind of decks, these like semi-complicated decks, I want them to show me the combo to make sure that they know how to do it properly.
Right.
Because you can screw this combo up if you don't sequence properly. And I did this exact thing. Like I couldn't interrupt, but I wanted him to demonstrate the combo to me, game one, and he did successfully demonstrate the combo. So then I know, like, okay, I can concede to him and save time if he, does it to me later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So he's just going through the motions here.
Yep.
Like Dan's probably doing exactly what you suggested. And here we go with the sack shenanigans.
The one thing to note, though, is, like, with Fiend Hunter, sometimes when you're a human reanimator player, you get a little anxious on targeting your angel with the Fiend Hunters. Because you only need to target once. Like, you want to resolve each of your abilities individually.
Right.
And say if you double target, like, say he has 2 Fiend Hunter triggers right now, and he double targets the angel. If you kill the first Fiend Hunter in response to the target, then that Fiend Hunter is dead, but his exile trigger is still in stack. That resolves, exiling the angel permanently, because now he's not in place, so the comeback ability is gone. The second Fiend Hunter then is canceled because there's no target. So it's one way to interrupt the combo if they don't know that interaction. With
Yeah, just killing the Fiend Hunters at the appropriate time.
Yep.
Yep. We'll definitely see, because that does happen in some of the other games. But one thing he can do and does do is, he'll just like kill the angel in your response to like trying to interrupt the combo.
Right. Yeah. You just sack as long as you have mana open or mana floating, you can just you sack the angel to the Undersending Reformer.
Right. Right. So they're still just going through the motions. Like, this game is done. Dan Ryan has no way to interact.
Nope.
And he should understand that and know that.
Yeah. At this point, like, he can safely concede. Like, he's demonstrating the interaction properly. Like, I mean, like, this is top 8, so it's not timed, but in a normal tournament, when you're pressed on time, this combo takes a little time to go off, technically. Like, generally it's worth it to just concede and move on.
Especially if you're in Dan's position where you're playing the control deck. He's both like the control deck and the aggressor. It's tough. And there he finally decides to concede.
Yeah, I think he just was like, for whatever reason, he wanted to show him the Mizium orders. Like, hey, I had this thing that was going to be awesome.
Right.
Which I don't know why he showed him. But
oh, yeah.
I mean, they are privileged to deck lists in the top 8, so they know that. But.
Right.
All right, so sideboard.
Speaking of.
What does he got over there?
He's got his basic anti-aggression package with Thragtusks and Restoration Angels and Centaur Healers, all of which I don't feel are going to be particularly relevant here.
Yeah, no, that's not necessary.
He's also got a Slaughter Games.
Faster.
He's also got a Slaughter Games, which I think is fine.
Slaughter Games isn't bad.
A Zealous Conscripts, which, depending on Dan Ryan's board, he might also bring in, and 2 Oblivion Rings. Again...
O-Rings I like, because they hit Rest in Peace.
Yeah, moving on to Dan's sideboard, they hit something like Rest in Peace.
Yeah, so, like, when you're a Reanimator deck, like, people have Graveyard Hate. It's just something that you do. you just have to bring it in every single game, like no matter what. And
Right.
now you have the deck list, so now he knows officially that he has Rest in Peace. So you bring in the O-rings.
Right.
Does he have any abrupt case?
No.
No abrupt case.
No abrupt case.
So his only answer to Rest in Peace is the 2 O-rings.
The 2 O-rings and like stealing with his Hell's concerts. Or
Okay.
something, something
yep.
silly.
That's also possible.
Yep. So like I would assume that Nick's gonna bring in the slaughter games because that does hit like lots of relevant things, especially considering he sees the deck list, so he knows what Dan has access to,
Right.
including sideboard options. So I could see the slaughter games, I could see the conscripts, but
Yeah, I see Slaughter Games O-ring and conscripts from his side.
Right,
From this side,
right.
I see Essence Scatter, Rest in Peace, Detention Sphere. I like as well.
yep,
Because Detention Sphere like takes things out of the graveyard and like the play zone, so like he can't combo off,
right.
and he would then have to use his O-ring, or his conscript, something
Yeah.
like.
How do you feel about like a Jace?
I know sometimes you're a fan of like you mill the reanimator strategy. You try
Well,
to
I mean,
race it, but
It depends, because like if you don't have a Rest in Peace on the table, I would no, like don't by all means don't do it.
Yeah. But if you have Rest in Peace,
But if you have Rest in Peace, like
you're essentially just like taking away 10 cards of their deck.
like yeah, permanently. Yeah, so that's
I like that, but it feels a little greedy to me.
it does, but like there's probably plenty of cards that are worse than a Jace in the main deck that he could take out, like
I mean,
Azorius Charm. For
You're
example.
still gonna win by damage, most likely.
Yeah. I mean that's his main win condition.
So you
but-
can't really cut your creature package.
Yep.
Um,
I like the
That's
kind of
fair,
flex and
that's
rewind. You
fair.
kind of have to have that.
yeah, you gotta have some kind of counter spells, and he just doesn't have a lot. So, like, I definitely bring in the Essence Scatters. Azorius Charm's not great. Probably cut some number of those. Probably cut some number of Revelation, honestly, because your life total is irrelevant, really.
Yeah, I mean you do it for the cards, but if you're bringing in a whole bunch of answering cards, then you're gonna like be sitting on them in your hand anyway. It's not like you're dumping your hand.
Yeah.
So you don't need the need to refill isn't as big.
All right, so
or
we see
necessary.
Dan. He is cutting some number of Azorius Charm, which is probably the best card to cut.
No,
I think it's
did
just
you see him cutting it?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As for Nick, in terms of what he can cut, like what do you feel is like the least necessary?
Huntmaster, 100%. It's irrelevant to the combo.
Yeah. Okay. It's just to buy a little time. It's like it's a concession to aggressive.
It's a concession to aggro, and it gives you 2 extra bodies to sack
Right.
to Undercity Informer when you're trying to mill yourself.
Right. But he knows Dan's like the aggro control in this matchup, and
Yeah,
the
which-
aggro is not like fast at
Yeah,
all.
which Huntmaster doesn't kill any of his guys. Like,
Yep.
can't flip and kill. Restoration Angel can't kill Reckoner. Like, could kill a Snapcaster maybe, but like it's awful.
That's like
So
never
like
gonna
yeah,
come up.
that's the auto cut to me because like
yeah.
does he have 3?
Huntmasters. Yeah, he's got 3. He's
That's
looking
a super easy switch.
He's looking to bring in maybe 4 cards.
Cut the Huntmasters, bring in the conscripts and the 2 O-rings.
Yep. I still like bringing in the slaughter games too.
He's got 1 slaughter game.
He's got 1 slaughter
All right,
games.
so to cut 1 more.
I can see cutting like one of the 2-drop cards, or maybe a Faithless Looting. Just like trimming, not
Yeah.
necessarily cutting.
I could even see cutting a Farseek, honestly.
Yeah, one of the 2-drop cards. A first,
Yeah.
I could see that going. Again, this isn't a matchup that's going to go very long, so like you'll have plenty of time to fix your mana, especially when you're playing Moltres and Grizzly Salvages. You're
Yep.
going to get your Black Source.
Yeah, when I was playing the Human Reanimator deck, I didn't play Farseek.
Right. So like, I still think Farseek's very good in the deck.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
good.
it.
I mean, I honestly like Avacyn Pilgrim because he's a human.
Yeah,
Like,
that
it
too.
gives you turn 2 plays that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I thought this deck was like gone. Like when I sat down for round 1 against him, I was like, this was like one of the decks farthest from my mind because like we haven't seen this deck on camera
Right.
anywhere.
Well, I mean,
nobody's playing it.
The ripples in the metagame don't always ripple.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean,
totally
like-
away.
And people tend to be like, oh, I'm going to make this deck and play that deck. And then, obviously they put the time and effort and they make the deck. And then even if it's like bad now,
They still want to grind it.
they're like, oh, I got it. I'm going to play it, Which I don't disagree with, but
So yeah, I mean, I played Jund mid range in this tournament, and like I feel like I have a pretty good matchup against this deck. But you know, the deck has this inevitability, and I couldn't interact with them fast enough.
Did you play main deck ground seals?
I did play main deck ground seals, yeah.
That's unfortunate. Well, I mean, he can just play
I
his
mulliganed to
Angel.
4, so like,
Yeah.
you know, it's still a little tough. And I did have a decent 4, like turn 1 Avacyn Pilgrim, turn 2 ground seal.
Hey, you mulliganed to 4? Me too.
Yeah, I know. Mulligan to 4s are awesome.
Oh yeah,
so fun,
so entertaining.
the best. The fact that I almost won that game was the best part of it.
Yeah, me too. I almost won my mulligan to 4.
Yeah,
Those are the worst ones, you know. Like,
ground seal does a lot of work.
You get a little bit of hope, and it's like, nope, snatch it right from under you.
Yeah, he killed me by damage that game actually. Because I had 1 land and I didn't draw a land for like the whole game.
Ground seal too strong.
Yep. I was like 1 turn away from stabilizing with Olivia.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our opening hands here. See, 2 islands.
Searing Spear.
We got no red mana though.
I think it's an Augur.
Oh man, I think it's a mulligan. Yeah. Can we see anything on Nick's side? A little tough.
I think I saw a Burning Tree Emissary. Yeah, I think
Grizzly Salvage.
it was definitely a gold card. Yep, Grizzly Salvage. He's keeping.
Yeah.
Like he's happy.
He likes his hand. He is ready to mill.
Ready to go to Milltown. Population U.
I do like this deck. Like I think it's a pretty interesting deck.
The human reanimator?
Yeah, I think it's fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like very interactive with your opponent. You're
Yeah.
essentially playing solitaire. But combo decks are generally kind of like that.
Yeah. I'm a little sad that the Chronic Flooding version never took off.
All right, we got 4 lands. 4 lands.
Yes.
4
lands.
lands.
Negate Searing Spear. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like negate. That's just on barrel rights.
Yeah, I mean, you could hit like a salvage or something. I think you just wanted more.
But the
interaction.
enablers are so redundant. There's too many of them to like start countering them.
Yeah. Oh, you took a mulligan on that one too.
Yeah, I like Essence Scatter much better.
He might be trying to like hit his rest in peace.
Yeah, he wants his rest in peace. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I don't
granted,
blame
those
him.
first 2 hands weren't great. Anyways, the first hand was bad. That hand was not great.
Yeah.
There's definitely a 5 out there that is better. That's an auto mulligan.
No land 5. Go to 4.
Man. All right, so this
Here comes the pile shuffle.
Yeah.
Yep. We've all been there, and we all hate it.
Yeah. Woo, 4 cards. Let's get it done.
Awesome.
All right, so but like if he has like 4 cards, like 2 lands, rest in peace, and like Augur, like man, that's sweet. I'll take that 4.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
Or even like a Think Twice, you know.
Yeah, think twice would be good.
You can definitely have some really good 4s. Yeah, Nick really has no way to interact with Rest in Peace outside of just Oblivion ringing.
Nope.
It. And then refilling your graveyard. Yeah. That's unfortunate because I didn't get my Rest in Pieces either.
Need to play more. More rest in peace.
I feel like 2 is a good number.
Oh, I like 3. I like 3 pieces of graveyard hate right now in this format.
Well, here's hoping he gets a good 4. Would you want a 4? I still want to cut.
That'd be funny if he like significantly shuffled his deck for the 4.
Yeah.
4. Oh, was that 5?
That's 5. Did we miss a mulligan?
I mean, do you think we?
No, I think he was going. I think he was going to 5. No, he was going to 4.
Yeah. He definitely should only have 4 cards in his hand.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, because first hand was double island. He mulliganed that.
Yeah, and the next one was
Next
Negate
hand
Searing
was
Spear lands.
right. He mulliganed that.
And then the next one
5 was nothing.
There's no.
So this is a 4 land hand. So he's working with a legal hand right now.
That's sweet. That's good.
So, and Nick didn't pick up on it either. Neither did the judge. Maybe he was away on a ruling.
There was a lot of people talking about rulings around this time.
So honestly, because of that, like I hope. So yeah, Nick's got a decent hand here with turn 2 emissary into. Yeah, sweet. It's a good value there.
Need to get red mana somehow.
Yep.
Oh, and that was disgusting.
That's called Here's the Win. Stop me if you can.
That was awful. Oh my goodness. I just vomited a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah, I think I had a feeling like he even had that in hand.
Oh, jeez. So what's he need now? A Fiend Hunter and a...
Yeah, he needs Fiend Hunter, Undercity Informer,
Yeah, and then he's good to
and then
go.
he's good to go. But I mean, so he needs a black mana, or a way to pitch the Undercity into the graveyard.
Right.
So mulch,
Mulch
we
works.
could hit right here, like.
Oh, there's
There's a
one.
Fiend Hunter. All right, so got one piece left. We even have a cavern to name,
Wow.
anything he wants on. So we can name human, so he could cast the Undecini Informer,
Mm-hmm.
thereby allowing him to sack his other guys into the graveyard.
Yep.
Please, said cavern. Daniel was considering a Searing Spear.
Not worth it.
Now he's got double Searing Spear, Sphinx of Revelation, Jace, and Essence Scatter. Not bad. Not a bad hand.
Yeah.
You can interrupt this a little bit. I think you just take these beats. Like I don't like that Searing Spear.
Yeah, you just take these. 'Cause,
Like I want max interaction when he tries to combo me.
Right. He's just another emissary
So
anyway.
Cavern is definitely unhuman now. We know that.
Yeah, now he's going into a Fatal Looting,
Yep.
which I find... And there's the Informer, I think? I think you just...
It looked like a black card. There's only 2 black cards in the deck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you're right. Okay, so combo assembled.
So now Dan has the opportunity to interact with the Fiend Hunter when Nick tries to go off for the combo because he only has one Fiend. Never mind. that's 2 Fiend Hunters
And he's got the 4th land.
and a land.
And a black.
That land's
Perfect.
supposed to be tapped.
That land is tapped.
What is it? Woodland Cemetery with no
Alright, so he didn't use it. So
corresponding
that's good.
basics.
I don't necessarily think he should go for it here.
Well, I mean, how many umbrellas does he have?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's only got the 1.
Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah, you don't have a counterspell, fortunately. Yeah, so now
Nick's like,
this is where he Searing Spirit earlier cost him.
Right, because you could have 2 spears.
You have 2 spears here.
Yeah, always
Does he
bring 2
have-
spears.
Does he have 2? All right, so he's double targeting. Here's where we go. Here we go. Double targeting the angel.
Uh-oh.
And he does not have 2 red sources actually, so he couldn't double Searing Spirit. anyways.
Right, right.
But all right, so Nick's presenting the combo. He's asking Dan if he has a way to interact with my combo.
Right.
Unfortunately, Dan does, but
But that's
doesn't
not
see. But doesn't see this line.
Well, it's not enough, because if he kills one Fiend Hunter, like, the other one's just going to get the Angel anyway.
No, because the first one targets with the exile trigger. You respond by Searing Spear
Right,
into the one target.
yeah, you're right.
The stack resolves, kills the Fiend Hunter. The Fiend Hunter's target resolves, exiles the Angel of Serenity.
Hmm.
So then, normally, because the Fiend Hunter is no longer there, it would trigger back. But the Fiend Hunter is no longer there, so it can't trigger back. So the Angel is permanently exiled.
Yes.
So then the second Fiend Hunter's exile trigger is countered because there's no target anymore. I mean, granted, like, it doesn't ruin the whole entire combo. So Dan's thinking he has a way to interact. He does. He's just not sure when to respond. Because there's a very specific window in when you have to say you're targeting and when you actually pull the trigger.
Right.
And, like, he's got 2 mana. Yeah, he's got 2 mana available. So, yeah, don't target the End of City Informer, because that doesn't do anything. Alright, so he's thinking about targeting the Fiend Hunter. So this is interesting. I'm not sure which one he's doing.
Hmm.
It's a lot of discussion over the one Fiend Hunter.
Yeah, it's a lot of discussion. Well, I mean, like, obviously Dan doesn't want to lose.
Yeah, no, and there is a way out. He just is not seeing it. And it's tough. Like it's pretty advanced play to see. It's an interaction with targeting and exiling and that whole Fiend Hunter ability of like come into play, leave play isn't necessarily intuitive.
Mm. Yeah, so it is irrelevant if you target with multiple Fiend Hunters, like,
Yeah,
because the only one that matters is the first one.
yeah. If you want like protection, target one of your other guys. Like target your other Burning Tree emissary with your Fiend Hunter,
Yeah.
because then it gives you like wrath protection. And then like the combo is resilient. Like he won't be able to combo you if you do Searing Spear of the Fiend Hunter, because he can just sack, but then he'll just reset up for next turn,
Right.
and he'll draw a. All right, so now the judge is involved. It looks like, and they're explaining the board state, and he's saying that I targeted the Undercity Informer. Just getting clarification that he did indeed target the angel with both Fiend Hunters,
Right.
and he responded to those triggers by shooting the Undercity Informer.
Yeah, I mean, all this is going to do is just going to stop for a turn, right? Like, he'll just sack the Informer. He'll use all his mana from the Emissary and just act like maybe one Emissary and an Informer, and then just try to go off next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't particularly see how Dan's going to get out of this. Okay, so he was targeting a Fiend Hunter?
No, I still think he's targeting the angel, the Undercity Informer. But in response to that, he's now going to sack his whole team to mill his entire graveyard, entire like deck,
Yeah.
to just set up another combo next turn. Honestly, I would have kept sacking till I hit an Barrow Rights. He must have one in
He
hand.
had no more mana.
Oh,
Only
right.
one emissary
Yeah,
came
yeah,
in.
Yeah, that's right. Only one emissary.
Yeah, but I don't know why the Angel's in the graveyard. Like, why did he sack the Angel?
Because he didn't have a sack outlet, so he needed the angel in the graveyard to bring back all of his humans.
But he had more than one Angel.
Does he have more than one?
I thought so.
I thought he only
Maybe
had one.
not. Maybe see the Angel in his yard now. Maybe that's the Angel. Like I thought that was the second one, but he did mill some cards, so it's probably just one Angel. Yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna get some beats on for 4.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That means 5. Excuse me. So we're looking at it in Azorius Charm.
I'd rather just draw a card off that Azorius Charm.
Yeah, it's good, just doing nothing. Like you're.
It is funny that he boarded the Jace.
Yeah, he did. He's just trying that plan. So now we got a second cavern. That one's definitely naming Angel.
Yeah.
Undercity Informer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like here's where the redundancy comes in.
Yep. Yeah, so this turn he can just like sack 2 guys, mill to hit and Barrow Rights, and then go again next turn.
You know, like now that I think about it, I don't know how good Essence Getter actually is because he's got plenty of caverns to just.
Yeah, I don't love it. He just doesn't have much interaction.
Right. Yeah. All right. I like the +1.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to draw some
the mill 10 is not even an option because you're just gonna mill him into whatever he needs.
You just tapped out, so you're just showing I have nothing. You have to kill me this turn. So now this is where I'm definitely stacking my guys.
Yeah.
I get to do true triggers, which is going to be quite a bit of cards, and he did not mill himself.
Oh, he milled Nan Ryan.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Maybe he has unburied rights in hand. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's the only way you would do it. So
Yeah.
now you're dead.
Yep. There you go.
And
Now
this is why I don't like Sphinx's Revelation in this matchup, because like
it doesn't do
you
anything.
just don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's showing that he's got the loop. And that's that.
All right. Well, that was round 1.
Round 1 of the top 8. Unfortunately, Nick Mildeman's going to be on a tear. So we do have him on our next video.
Yep. He's on the next video. So we'll be back with the semifinals, right?
Yep. All right.